So it is feeding time for all my animals, which is why they're all out. Kobu's kind of mad right now because he has an empty food bowl. I just wanted to show y'all what I go through every night feeding all of my animals because they're all nocturnal, so they all get fed right before I go to bed. So this is my nightly routine of feeding my animals. So first up is my beta, which has to be the simplest of my animals to feed because he just gets some prepared food, and then on other days he gets some brine shrimp and bloodworms. So here are my hedgehog's meals. It might look disgusting to you, but it's actually every single thing a hedgehog could possibly want in one. It's just all mashed together, which makes it look disgusting. Prepare this every night for them. It takes me about 10-15 minutes to get everything all together. It has worms, crickets. I like to mix in some vegetables because they don't really like vegetables, but they're good for them. And then there's some chicken and some cat food. So that is everything that a hedgehog could want. They know when it's feeding time and they come right out, and he's going right for the chicken. They always go for the chicken first. They really like it. I try not to, overdo it. I only give it to him like once a week, but he loves it, and that's what he's going right for. Okay, so the next thing I feed after my hedgehogs are my hermit crabs. Today I'm giving them bananas and carrots. I alternate every day between fruits and veggies and meats like shrimp because they do need both in their diet. All I do for them is I just plop it in there and they come get it at their own will, and then I fill up their water, and that's that for them. I do mist them down also before I go to bed to keep their cage nice and humid. Okay, so this next part is for my crested gecko. I give him 1 cup of water, of course, and 1 cup of his food. I give him this kind of food. This is what he lives off of. It has everything in it that he could ever need, so it's just like an all-in-one, everything he needs food. All you do is pour some of this powder into a cup and then you stir it up with water. I think I put a little too much water in there, but we're gonna see if I can get it to look okay. Okay, it's a little watery, but it'll be okay. He'll still eat it. Sometimes, some nights I'll hand feed it to him, but tonight I'm just gonna put it in there, and I put it on this ledge so he has easy access to it. Stick it over there. And then I give 1 cup of water. And then about twice a month I do feed him some crickets. Normally they are live, but I don't have any right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him some that have already passed. He tends to like either of them just the same, but technically the live are a little better for him. Crickets are basically like candy to crested geckos, so you definitely don't want to give it to them all the time. So like I said, I only give it to him about twice a month. He does really like them though. It's just, I don't want him to live off of it because it'd be like letting your child live off of candy. But yeah, he really likes them. This one is a little big for him. Typically you only want to give them crickets that are about the size of the space between their eyes. So this one was a little big for him, but he took it like it was nothing. Guess he's all done now. He's licking his lips. And then every night I do mist down his cage. Just give it a good spray because they like their environments really humid. Okay, next up is feeding my fish. I have 2 tanks of fish I have to feed. I do put a lot of food in there, probably a lot more than they necessarily need. But it's just because I have so many fish that like to fight each other for the food, so I just want to make sure it gets evenly dispersed in there and everyone gets a chance to eat some stuff. Normally I put some flaked food in for some of the fish, and then I put some live food or some frozen shrimp in there for the carnivores that are in my tank, because I do have a mix of both. Okay, so for the non-carnivorous fish, which are actually up front right now, I give them flaked food. I put a lot in there because like I said, there's actually a lot of them in there, so I want them all to be able to get some. All I do is fill a container up with a little bit of water, and then I put the frozen pellet of shrimp in there and then just let it kind of dissolve, and I'm going to split it between my 2 tanks because they both have carnivores in them. Okay, so now I'm just going to put the bigger chunk in the bigger tank, and I let it all dissolve. And that's it for this tank, and then I move on to this tank, which is my brackish tank. Basically, they're just going to get this. It's going to come down right there, and they're all going to eat. And then, for this guy back there, my puffer, he doesn't eat this food. He's already here and he knows it's time to eat. He eats live food, so that means I have to go ahead and give him some food that is, well, alive. Puffers are very vicious eaters. And the next animal I feed actually eats earthworms as well, but I don't know if they're hungry or not, so I'm gonna see how much they'll eat. He is nowhere near big enough to eat an entire earthworm without me having to cut it up, so I have to cut it up into several small pieces, and he still doesn't even eat half an earthworm for a meal. He eats very small pieces of it. That's just because he's so young. He is a vicious eater too, though. Anything you put in front of him, he's gonna eat. He will just devour it. I'm gonna try it with flash to see if you could see a little better. Hey, come over here. Now you can get a good view. Kind of. And it's gone. So that is my nightly routine for all my animals. I do this every single night. It takes me a good 30 minutes to an hour, just depending on how much I'm wanting to feed them. Now I have to clean up this whole cage before I go to bed because they make a mess every night. And then I will be done and ready to sleep. That's one bad thing about having as many animals as I do and them all being nocturnal is it keeps me up at night. But that's okay. I hope you enjoyed my video. I know this one was a little different than what I normally make, but I do occasionally want to upload a video that is just about my animals, just showing you some things I do with them. And that's what this one was. So, thank you for watching.